Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to meet you. So I've got Facebook here and Instagram. So I'm not going doolally. I'm trying to look between the two of you. So don't adjust your sets. You are with the right people. It's just that I'm on my own tonight because Cheryl is busy away with her hubby Graham. They've gone away for a couple of days on a lovely little break, which is kind of like the summer holiday for them. So we were laughing because she was in Cuba a couple of years ago. Last year she spent the time in Oban up in Scotland, and now she's in somewhere in Yorkshire. But it's really lovely actually because Graham has taken her to lots of sentimental places and from places that he spent in his childhood. So that's really nice. So hey Laura. So you've just got me tonight. And what I want to do is just kind of give you a little bit of a wake-up call. Now, you're going to hate me for saying this. However, just the other day, 2 days ago, it was the 25th of June, which officially means that you're 6 months until Christmas. How does that feel? So really, it's important that it's a good checkpoint. We indicated this was going to be coming a couple of weeks ago. So this is a really good point for you to take stock on where you're at against your goals. So in the soul system at 8:30, we're going to be doing some coaching with anybody who wants some help in getting unstuck, especially if there are certain goals that you know you're not moving forward with. I think we lost Instagram there. They could be financial goals. They could be, it is, we really want to help get you unstuck and get you moving again, because it's so important that you don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. And a lot of the time what can happen is if you set a goal back in December, January, and you wanted to achieve it by this time, by now, you might not have done that. And so sometimes we just kind of forget about the goal, and then that's when we see the behavior of come New Year's Eve, January again, we're making the same resolutions that we'll be making year in, year out. So what was that for you, girls? I'd love to know, Heather and Laura, like, was there any goals that you made that you'd really like to discuss or that you need some help with? Because there's a few different reasons why you're not achieving if you're not where you want to be. And it could be that you're just not where you want to be, you never got off the starting blocks, or you just felt overwhelmed and, like I said, didn't get off the starting blocks, didn't start, or didn't really know what you wanted at the beginning of the year. So it doesn't, the world doesn't stop and end at the end of December. It keeps rolling, it keeps moving. So having rolling 6, 12, 18-month goals is a really good way to look at it, because then you don't get stuck and you don't get into this stop-start mentality. So what I want you to ask yourself is really, what are the blocks for you right now? Where have you not got your goal off the ground? Or where have you got a goal in motion but you're not getting the traction on it that you want? Okay, and I want you to really think about that, and then I want you to think about where you need to be and where you want to get to by whatever date, whether it's September, December, whatever that is for you, and then really think about who it is that you need to be, what you need to do differently. So what's not working and what you need to do. Now, we'll be doing some coaching on this in the soul system at night at 8:30, like I say, so if you want some help, you can come and join us in there. So just getting some focus on it. What we tend to do at the beginning of the year, even though we encourage people not to, is people try to do a lot. They're trying to do lots of different goals, and that really gets overwhelming, because then life steps in, or someone gets sick, or there's a problem with work, and you can then have these setbacks and be really taken aback by it, and before you know it, you've lost track of the goal altogether. So this is a great time just to refocus yourself, allow yourself that time to go, okay, we're done with Q2, we've got Q3 coming for, so half two of the year's coming up. What do I want that to look like? What do I want to say that I'm proud of achieving by the end of the year? As I go into January, who is the person that I want to be, and how can I start making effect on that now? Because what you don't want to do is just let another 6 month rumble by and you're nowhere near it. So don't do 3 things, don't do 4 things, just one. What's the one thing, the one area of your life where you want to make a bigger difference, where you want to have more impact, where you want to see a different result than what you're getting now? And that's the one area that we really recommend that you focus on for the rest of the year. So then taking that one area and asking yourself, what's the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference? And what's the next step that you need to take? And just doing that alone will have such a huge impact on you taking steps towards achieving that goal. Just committing to spending 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes, like all the Love Island breaks rolled up, spending 15 minutes a day on that goal, really getting traction and just being solely focused on that till the end of the year, what would that look like? Like, what difference would that make in 6 months' time if you spend 15 minutes every single day on your goal? So if it's a health goal, it might be 15 minutes a day doing some food prep, doing an extra walk, doing some extra physical activity. If it's a learning goal, it might be you spend that 15 minutes a day expanding your mind, using your mindset muscle, listening to something spiritual, listening to something in a different topic that you're interested in. It might be, if you want to move abroad, it might be 15 minutes a day researching what that looks like, understanding what your finances would have to do, knowing what the job market is like in the place that you want to go to. It might be setting up a business, so 15 minutes a day researching what that looks like, who's doing that, who you can follow, who you can learn from, making some new contacts, polishing up your LinkedIn profile. There's so many things you could do in 15 minutes, but what we tend to do is when we're in the overwhelm, we just don't do anything. And that's the danger zone. That's the danger zone. That's the apathy. That's when I'll come back to you in 5 years and say, how are you? Where are you doing against the goal that you had? And you'll tell me that you know further forward because it all just seemed too big that you didn't start it in the first place. I hope this is resonating if you're listening in. So what's that one goal and what can you do in 15 minutes a day to move you towards being the person who achieves that goal and completely smashes it? Yes, this is you, is it, Laura? It's so many of us, right? I could be talking about you, I could be talking about me, I could be talking about... So Cheryl and I had the same issue with the business. There were so many things that we wanted to do at the beginning of the year, and then the months go by and you get busy, and then you maybe have a setback over here or something else happens over there, or life happens. And if you have too many goals and too much spread of yourself, you end up then not really achieving anything to any great extent. So be specific. What's the one thing? And commit to doing that. And then if anything shiny, anything great, anything, interesting comes up in the next 6 months, unless this fits into your greater plan of where you want to be a year from now, the answer is no. The answer is that's great. That opportunity will be there in 6 months' time and 8 months' time. And, the universe likes it to be specific. It likes it to be really clear. So the clearer you can be on showing focus and dedication and commitment in the area that you really want to move forward, the more likelihood it is that you're going to get that back from the universe too. So it works on kind of a physical level and a metaphysical level. So I just want you to really take that on board now, okay? So while this is in your head, while this is fresh in your head, go now, make some notes. What's the one thing that's going to make the difference? What do you want to see you've achieved? And what's the one next thing you have to do to make that happen? And how are you going to spend 15 minutes a day from now until the rest of the year making that goal come true for you? Now, if you want some specific coaching, if there's some certain mindset blocks that you are feeling specifically stuck in, I really want to help you tonight. So I'm logging off here now. I'm going to go log on the Soul System. If you want to join us, it's on Facebook. It's called the Soul System. Come on there, get involved, and we'll be giving you some coaching, okay? So let's see you over there. Love you all. Be good. Be nice to each other. Have a lovely night. And don't watch too much Love Island, guys, in the UK. See you soon.